Hi guys, it's Sky from My Magazine, and in this video I'm going to be talking about what a week it's been for the Beckhams. Now, as many of you already know, earlier this week, Brooklyn Beckham took to Instagram stories and made a pretty long statement basically indicating that his mum and dad, David Beckham and Victoria Beckham, Posh and Bex, have essentially controlled him his whole life, and he's ready to speak out. Now, the bit in particular that actually kind of went viral and has really made the headlines on all social media, all news outlets, is how he said that his mum, Victoria Beckham, was inappropriately dancing at his wedding. Now, this statement actually read the following: "My mum hijacked my first dance with my wife, which had been planned weeks in advance to a romantic love song. In front of her 500 wedding guests, Mark Anthony called me to the stage where in the schedule was planned to be my romantic dance with my wife, but instead my mum was waiting to dance with me instead. She danced very inappropriately on me in front of everyone." And he then went on to say how he had never felt more uncomfortable or humiliated in his entire life. Now, DJ Fat Tony, who attended the wedding along with his husband Stavros, Stavros actually was seen commenting on a post saying, "I was there and she did, he's telling the truth," which has since been deleted, and another comment's been made where he said good on him for finally speaking out.
But why I said it was inappropriate as well was because at the time it was the timing. Mark Anthony was performing on stage. He then called Brooklyn onto stage. Brooklyn went onto the stage where the next minute everyone was expecting it to be Nicola to go up and do the first dance. And then Mark Anthony asks the most beautifulest woman in the room to come to the stage. And then he says, "Victoria, come to the stage." So Victoria's by the stage, she goes onto the stage. And of course, at that point, Brooklyn's like suddenly literally devastated because he thought he was going to do his first dance with his wife. Then Nicola leaves the room crying her eyes out. Brooklyn's stuck there on stage, and then they do this dance, and Mark Anthony's like, "Go, put your hands on your mother's hips," and it was a Latin, it's a Latin thing, and the whole situation was really awkward for everyone in the room.
Now, a journalist for Vogue magazine who also attended the wedding has stepped forward and said that Victoria actually didn't take to the dance floor until long after the couple's first dance, and she was actually invited up by Brooklyn himself, and it was when Mark Anthony's live set had begun, which was scheduled for 11 p.m. So the stories are very contradicting, as are other things that have been put out in Vogue previously, timelines not adding up with other things that were mentioned, such as Nicola's wedding dress, etc. But a source close to Victoria Beckham has come out and said that Victoria is really embarrassed now she's been mocked online, and it's just devastating to her. Now, I'm guessing in particular there's been so many memes, photos. I've seen like the AI generated photos. As funny as they are, I can imagine being in Victoria's. If I was Victoria, I would feel embarrassed too, especially when it's sort of his word against her and vice versa. Even the guests of the wedding, they're not really correlating with what actually happened. But let me know what you guys think. As always, you can comment down below. You can find us on Instagram at Aman_mag and on Twitter at AmanMagazine1.